Hello guys, welcome to iTutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with Unit 16, Subsection 11, MMBZ 004. Tools for fraud detection. Nowadays, most of the financial transactions are done through electronic devices and authorization for C transaction is also more or less in electronic form. Forensic computing is the process of identifying, preserving, analyzed, presenting digital evidence in a manner that is legally acceptable in the court of law. For this purpose, many IT tools and softwares are used. Helix is software based on Knoppix, that is a variant of Linux, which is used to acquire forensically sound image of hard drives and hard drive partitions of system. And the ACL desktop, also known as audit command language, is a tool to read and analyze various type of tiles scattered across multiple database on different platforms. A unique feature of ACL is its ability to maintain data integrity, as its method of assessing the data is read-only access. Due to this feature, source data is never changed, altered or deleted. UltraBlock is forensic write blocker hardware that prevent modification in data assessed for forensic accounting. Since the authenticity of data is very important in case of data being submitted to a court of law, as evidence, use of UltraBlock hardware prevents the data from being modified or altered when the data is assessed and analyzed. So here is one chart, that is a categorization of fraud detection method. You just refer it, it will help you for more understanding of this section. And next one is methods of fraud detection. There are two main methods used to detect fraud, which is supervised and unsupervised. The first one is supervised method. In this method, fraud detection is based on the dynamic of the previous fraud committed. This method makes use of prior data and information. The prior data and information, also called labeled information, consist of both genuine and fraudulent transactions. Based on prior data, models are constructed and trained to discriminate between genuine and fraudulent transactions. The basic assumption of this model is that the pattern of past fraud will persist for the present and future also. Since this method is based on the fraud structure of the past events, this method may not work due to overfitting to the training data set or unknown fraud type. And next one is unsupervised method. These methods are based on the identification of outliers which are detected through data mining techniques. Change in behavior and frequency of transaction is detected by suspicious scoring system, which are based on the if-then type of outlier rules. These rules are based on experimental knowledge, and when the pattern is data does not conform to the expected pattern or some anomalous data pattern is detected, it is an indication for further probe. And next section is forensic audit technique. A normal financial audit confirmed that the financial statements gave a true and fair picture of the state of affairs of the company and complied with all cable laws and accounting policies. During the course of the audit, auditors may come across transactions that are not normal in nature or are not backed with sufficient documentary evidence. To investigate these anomalies, forensic audit is done. Some of the technique involved in forensic auditing to examine the frauds are: first one is testing internal controls. The most organizations have internal control in place, but there are certain weak links that are exploited by the fraudsters to commit fraud. A good initial forensic auditing technique is to understand and analyze the internal control of an organization and find possible way to circumvent the controls. Next is trend analysis. Most of the companies grow at a normal rate, and the various transactions required to accomplish the business task also exhibit a certain trend. Sudden spikes and trough in the trend of this variable indicate something usual and are worth investigating. During the forensic investigation, the auditor should review the organization's historical norms and analyze the outliers event in the context of historical norms. And next is digital forensic examination. Digital forensic examination is one of the most important technique for fraud investigation, as digital trails are difficult to cover up and manipulate. A close scrutiny of phone logs, official emails, accounting records and company database will uncover many hidden facts. And next is face-to-face interview. It is always a good idea to understand organizational dynamics and the process dynamics before undertaking a forensic audit. Face-to-face interview with the executives and managers is an effective tool to accomplish this. The information provided by them can direct the audit in the right direction. And next is full financial audit. Before commencing forensic audit, it is important to conduct a full financial and accounting audit, which involves bank statement reconciliation, scrutiny of vendor contracts and payment verification of sales and purchase, review of tax returns and other filing with the public authorities. And application of Benford's law. Benford's law is a mathematical tool to determine whether the variable under study, that is suspicious transaction, is a case of unintentional error or fraud. The basic premise on which this law operates is that fabricated figure, an indicator of fraud, poses a different pattern from random figures which are generated from normal business transactions. Once a series of transactions is identified as suspected transaction, the leftmost digit of the figure is extracted of all transactions of that particular variable and summarized for the entire population. And if observed data confirm that the percentage of Benford's law, it implies that the observed data is Benford's set and there is a 68% chance of no error or fraud. And next is theory of relative size factor, that is RSF. The application of this theory can highlight unusual fluctuation in the data series under observation, and this unusual fluctuation then can be further analyzed to determine whether unusual fluctuation is genuine error or fraud. RSF is the ratio of the largest number to the second largest number in the data series. Next is computer assisted auditing tool. These audit tool, that is softwares, are designed to assess data of audit significance from client's information system without depending on the client's accounting personnel. Since these are automated tools, the chances of data manipulation are minimal until and unless the information system itself is needed with the manipulated data. These tools are capable of testing details of transaction and balances, identifying inconsistencies or significant fluctuations, and testing general as well as application control of computer system, that is data security and integrity, extracting sample data for audit verification, recalculation of calculations done by client's computer, and data analysis ratio. Financial ratio indicate the financial health of a company. Similarly, data analysis ratio for key numeric field provides an indication of the fraud health by analyzing and identifying possible symptoms of fraud. Commonly used ratios are the ratio of highest value to the lowest value, and the ratio of the highest to the second highest value, and the ratio of the current year to the previous year. And Benesch ratios. These ratios are used to distinguish between fraudulent financial report and non-manipulated financial report. The following ratios are used: days sales in receivable index and gross margin index, asset quality index, sales index. And this is about this chapter, and summary of this unit is here. The last few decades have been fraud of several magnitude, resulting in loss of billions of dollars and loss of investors' confidence. The techniques used to get to the bottom of the fraud scheme, investigation and preparation of evidence suitable for a court of law are collectively referred to as the forensic accounting. And self-assessment questions also here. So first question is, what is forensic accounting? Provide an overview of recent corporate frauds. Already we discussed in first part of this unit. And what do you understand by the fraud triangle? And third question is, in the context of fraud triangle, explain the role of pressure and opportunity in perpetuating fraud. Discuss the major corporate fraud of the last 2 decades. and explain the application of forensic accounting and what are the various type of frauds, how are they classified under fraud tree, and what kind of fraud can occur in the sales and receipt cycle, and explain the potential of fraud occurrence in personal and payroll cycle. What do you understand by fraudulent financial reporting scheme, and what are the IT tools used for fraud detection? Explain the various forensic audit techniques. So these are the questions from this unit. Try to answer all these questions. It will help you for your term and examination, and in between any doubt you can contact us also. And this is the last unit of MMBC 004. So you just refer previous videos and just for revision for your term and examination. And for more videos, do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
iTutor EAS presents IGNO MBA, complete syllabus coverage classes and individual semester base, subject coverage program for MBA students online and flexible sessions. For more details, contact 62382 17885.